Well, I got it, and I've been messing with it for hours. So now it's time for me to tell you about the Buttkicker 2 and what I think of it. Coming up next. What's up, everybody? Thomas Brandon, thank you very much, as always, for joining me. And like I said, we're going to be taking a look at the Buttkicker Gamer 2. Now, a couple of things that I got to note real quick before we get into, kind of my thoughts on it and stuff like that. We're going to basically be focusing on the dirt side. One thing that I can tell you right now is that the Buttkicker 2 Gamer 2, let's just call it BK, okay? The BK2. The BK2 is especially with the software and all the research I've done on the software, this thing really shines on the asphalt side. When it comes to the dirt, there are some things that you can do. I'm going to talk about it, but it doesn't seem to really be made for the dirt side. When we look at the effects and how they work and stuff like that, I have spent close to 9 hours today alone, tweaking settings and trying different things, and doing, just experimenting, all kinds of stuff. And I'm pretty much come to the conclusion that I'm going to have to just create my own effects, which is a very lengthy and difficult process. But that's just what I'm gonna have to do to get it to what I want. Okay, so that's the first thing you got to know. The second thing, if you have a cockpit like I do, which is a fold up, style cockpit, play seat challenge. Mine is the X Rocker 2. If you have something like this, the any type of base shaker is probably, you're not going to get the cleanest result. And what I mean by that is this chassis, this cockpit, is not 100% rigid. If you look right here, you can see there's flex in this cockpit. Now, where I've got it mounted, the frame itself was actually just a little too thin for me to actually put the clamp on. I actually had to wrap a bunch of 10 mil tape, which is just like thick black, tape. It's kind of like electrical tape, but just bigger and thicker. So I actually had to wrap a spot with that a bunch of times before I could get the thing to clamp on there and stay. It would keep sliding down no matter how tight. I could got it as tight as it would go, and it just wouldn't stay. So that's another downside of it. So, overall, it's really nice. I really like it. It does add a level of immersion. But when it comes to the dirt side, it's pretty limited in what you can do in terms of advantages. What I mean by that is, if you're wanting to really dial in like wheel slip, it's going to be hard, because guess what, on the dirt your wheels are always slipping, and so it's really difficult to dial in the settings. And when I talk about needing to create my own effects, this is what I'm talking about. I spent hours messing with the wheel slip effect and could never get it right. No matter what I did, it would be, I would be, in the tacky dirt, not spinning my wheels, because I was matching, the feedback that I was getting to my telemetry in Motec. Okay, so I would go back and I would look and I'd be like, okay, my wheels are not slipping there. You're not spinning. The problem is on dirt, you always have some wheel slip. Okay, there's always a level of wheel slip, and it's getting a lot of readings a lot of times on the front end. So when you're getting wheel slip on the front, so when you turn the car, that little bit of plow or something like that before the car sets, just that little slip is causing it. And I messed with threshold, all kinds of stuff, and just couldn't get it dialed in the way that I wanted it to. So that was one thing that was kind of a bummer. Now, I did try it on the asphalt side. I can tell you now, on the asphalt side, it's awesome. Okay, I mean, if you race asphalt, this thing's amazing. Whether it's asphalt, oval, road, whatever, I tried it on both. It's really, really cool. Just the gear shift is cool. I mean, it really is. Like I almost want to do road racing just so I can shift gears. Like it's that kind of cool. The clunk, the feel that you get from it is really, really awesome, man. It does add a level of immersion that is really cool. Even on the dirt side, although I'm only using just a couple of effects, it does add a very unique experience to it. Like when I try driving now without it, it's it's really boring. It really is. So it's one of those things that once you start using it, you're not going to want to go back. Okay, so those are a couple of things I just wanted to note. Now, really quick, if we bring it up, I use SimHub. I did check out some other softwares, you know, and there was some paid stuff, but I looked at the paid stuff and I didn't see an advantage to it. Like if I saw that, hey man, you spend $100 on this and you're going to get these incredible effects that are just that much better, I would gladly pay $100. I got no problem doing that. That's just not what I'm seeing though. You know, now I could be wrong, okay? In fact, if I am wrong, let me know in the comments down below, because I will gladly try the other softwares if I have to pay. I got no problem paying money to get a better experience. I don't, okay? So I will gladly do that, but just from everything that I saw and, you know, kind of the research and everything that I looked into, even a couple of people that I talked to who tried the paid stuff and ended up using the free stuff over it. They're like, I like SimHub better, you know? So SimHub is what I'm using. Now, when you get this thing set up, and you guys, I'm not going to go through a tutorial on how to set it up because it's actually really simple. It's not that hard, and they have a bunch of videos on YouTube that can walk you through it. And the BK2 comes with, when you get it, it comes with this big manual, and it walks you through step by step. Like it's really hard to screw it up. Okay, it really is. So getting it set up is not difficult. One thing I will say is that when you do get everything, you know, before you turn on the amplifier, make sure you have everything hooked up and plugged in. Don't go turning that on before you got stuff plugged in, because you could screw something up. But make sure you get everything plugged in. Just follow the instructions. It's super simple, and you can do this without a dedicated sound card. You can use Voicemeeter Banana, and you can split your audio and do it that way. It's really simple, especially if you've got a USB headset like I do. It made it super simple. That's what I'm using, and it works really, really well. Okay, so you know, the putting it together and stuff, it took me about an hour, you know, and most of that hour was spent because I couldn't get the thing to stay on the I couldn't get the clamp to stay in place. I just kept wanting to slide down. So that's basically it. Now, once you get it plugged in and set up and everything, you can come over here and really quick, you know, iRacing, if you go to options, they do have a thing here where you go to sound, where you can click on enable LFE. If you're using the BK Gamer 2, you don't need to do that. I tried it with this. I've tried it without this. I didn't really notice a difference. In fact, when I used the enable LFE, it seemed like there was some effects in there that I wasn't wanting, and so that's the reason I'm not using it. So if you've got the BK Gamer 2, you don't need to use this, as far as I know, and I haven't been. It's been fine. If you have some other kind of bass shaker, you know, if you've got the other, you know, the littler ones or something like that, from my understanding, you're going to have to do this. You might want to do some research on that. Okay, but if we look at the effects here, right now I've got a couple of effects I've been working on, and basically, if we go to add effect, there's a ton of them in here. And one thing that I'll note is this: when it comes to using these effects, you can see they've kind of got them by these little groups. You want to use like one per group, okay? So you don't want to, less really is more with this, especially if you only have one. Now, if you have multiple BK Gamer 2s, which I can tell you right now, I'm going to get another one. I want to try multiple ones because I think if you can split up the effects, it would make it that much better. I will say I need to get a better chassis though before I do that. My rig is not, it's not good enough for it. You know, if I'm being 100% honest, it just has too much flex. I can feel vibration in other spots that I shouldn't be feeling vibration. I mean, you're going to feel vibration in your rig because these things are really strong, but it's a different kind. It's not the bass shaker vibration. It's the vibration of things that are not completely rigid moving themselves, right? And so it kind of muddles it a little bit. But like here on the roadside, you know, you got vibration, rumble, road impacts, you know, like just, you can try each of them, see which one you like the best, and then just pick one. Because if you pick all of them, what's going to happen is you're just getting muddled signals constantly, okay? Wheel slip, you know, let's add this. We'll take a look at this here in just a second. You know, the gear shift, like I said, the gear shift alone is really, really cool. The gear grinding was actually pretty cool too. So you know those right there. If you're a road racer, if you used just the RPMs for the motor and then the gear shifting and the gear grinding, it makes it 100 times better. It really does. Engine vibration, that is similar to the engine RPMs. We're actually going to cover that here in just a minute. The G-force stuff, I gotta be honest, this right here, it's pretty unique, but these are something that I would want to use if I had like a motion platform. That would make these much better. You would want them to be really slight, but if you had them with a motion platform, I could see them being really cool. But just, you know, by itself with everything else, it just didn't feel that good to me. Speed with curving, that felt like crap. I don't know what you would use that for. It's completely possible I did not have the settings correct, but the settings that they had default, it did not feel good. Speed in general, that one, you know, it's kind of similar to the RPMs or the motor vibration, so nothing really there. Simulated road texture, this was actually one that I tried a ton and tried messing with. I thought maybe like, oh well, maybe I can get the difference between slick and you know, good dirt, that type of thing. And I played with it a ton, and I'm gonna try to play with it some more. As of right now, I could not get it dialed in the way that I wanted to. And like I said, I think this is where you get into the limitations of just having one. If I had two of them, it would make a huge difference, because now I could have that texture, vibration, and then I could get the RPM stuff going, and you could have two different things happening, giving you a combined feel. But when you have the one trying to do two, it gets really muddled, okay? And that's one thing that I noticed. It gets really muddled. So, you know, like I said, less is more from my experience, especially on the dirt side. On the asphalt side, doing a couple of these, it's more than capable of handling it. It just seems to be a lot better, a lot cleaner, a lot smoother. On the dirt side, it's a little bit different. RPMs, that one is definitely good. And then custom effect, this is what I was talking about. I'm going to be doing a lot more research on this. I will be creating my own custom effects. I've already looked for somebody on Fiverr to do the coding for me, because you got to either do an in-calc formula or JavaScript. And so I'm going to be looking into this, because since this is telemetry based, I can create, since I know the telemetry stuff inside and out when it comes to, you know, these cars and iRacing and stuff like that, through Motec, you know, telemetry is telemetry, you know, data is data. And so I'm going to look at creating an effect based off of the telemetry stuff that I know, so that way I can actually create a real, you know, wheel slip effect for the rear wheel. So I will be doing that, you know, at some point. I got to find somebody to do it. Like I said, I don't know how to code, and I'm not going to spend the time learning, because that's just a waste of my time. Instead of me spending, you know, weeks trying to learn how to code so I can create one effect, I'd rather just hire somebody. So if any of you know how to custom code this stuff, send me a comment down below, or send me an email at, you know, Tommy@schoolofsimracing.net, and we'll talk. Okay. So, but anyway, so yeah, this is something that I will be looking at doing later. When I do create that, I'll let you guys know how it turns out. So anyways, now when it comes to the settings here, the first thing that you want to do is you want to, I find if you race multiple dirt cars like I do, I find creating a group of them, and you just click on add group, and it'll give you a folder, and then you can just move them all into one folder. So if I go like this, you can see that now these ones that are in here just collapse. I've been creating one for the sprints and the late models. They're pretty similar. I got another one that you can also do different profiles if you want, basically the same thing. I have another one that's for the midgets, where the RPMs are much more higher frequency, because the midgets run at a much higher RPMs or smaller motors, and so instead of it being more of a rumble, it's more of a high-pitched, higher end. It's like comparing a 4-cycle motorcycle to a two-cycle motorcycle kind of thing. So it's really cool. You can do a lot of stuff like that with it. So that's one thing that I thought is really cool. Now, when we look at the settings here, if I turn off the road impacts, and you can see that my settings, if I bring in if we add the RPMs and we look at, you know, what they have for RPMs, I'm gonna get rid of this. We don't need that. We look at what they have for the default settings. The curve here, it basically starts and then it drops. You have no feeling, and then it picks back up here at the end. Part of that has to do with you being able to run other effects, so you're not just feeling the RPMs the whole time. Because on dirt, there's not a whole lot of stuff that you can use that feels really good. I changed that curve to look like this. So now it kind of represents what you would feel in a car. Also, I changed the frequencies. If you look here, they've got it 34 to 50 with white noise. White noise, I don't really like. It's like this just added random stuff. I don't like it. I think it kind of sucks. I don't know why anybody would want it. That's just me, right? That's just my opinion. But so I took that off as well. And I upped the frequency. And so it starts off lower. It's got more of a lower rumble in the beginning, and then as you pick up speed, the vibration gets much faster and smoother, right? So if you imagine, you know, like a massage chair, right, when it's got the different levels, in the first one it's kind of like really shaking you, and then when you crank that thing up, it's really fast, and it just, you know, really like that. That's the same thing with the frequency. So the higher you go on the frequency, the faster that vibration is going to be, because that's all it is. It's just a vibration. And you can really set this to however you want, okay? Now, one of the cool things about it is that the Buttkicker has this controller, and so you can control the intensity of it. And so you're going to end up turning this thing up quite a bit to get it working in the beginning, because I was testing in the beginning and wasn't even feeling it. I was like, what the hell's going on? And then I had to really crank this thing up. It's also got the power button, so you can just turn it on, and now we're good to go. So that's another cool thing about it. So when it comes to the dirt side, you know, the two that I have been running are the RPMs and the road impacts. Basically, if I hit bumps or anything like that, it'll give me kind of a jolt, which does feel pretty good. And then on, you know, the engine side of things, you know, just to give me the feel of the motor and stuff like that, I've been using, you know, RPMs and, you know, this curve and, you know, the frequency and stuff like that I have is, you know, that's basically it. And so that's all I've been using on the dirt side, and it works pretty well. And it feels really good. That's, you know, that's the thing. Like I said, with the limitations that I have based on my chassis, right? And, you know, the fact that this stuff is not really designed for the dirt, just these two settings are really helpful. Now, I know people are going to be wondering, because like I said, one of the main reasons I wanted to get it was because of wheel slip. And you can, if you set the RPMs correctly, you can get a sense of that. And so if you go in the slick, you'll feel the RPMs jump up. So that is a good thing. So that's about the closest that I've been able to recreate or emulate with the wheel slip is using the RPMs and getting that frequency dialed in. I don't know if you can hear that bass shaker, but see right now, see all those bumps I just hit right there, I can feel those. It feels really good. It really does. It's subtle. It's not over the top, which is nice. And then, like I said, if you kind of spin the tires, you can feel it, you know, jump up and then come back down, the RPMs. And that's really the key, is with the tuning of it. Now, when you tune this stuff, the way that you want to do it is you want to do it one at a time, okay? So what you'll do is you'll pick one, all right, turn it on, okay, go out and run it, drive it, and then get it set correctly. Then you'll turn it off, add another one, set it up, test it, okay? And then once you've got the 2 or 3 or however many you want to use, and you've done each of them individually, then you can go and use all of them at the same time. If you try to tune your RPMs while you're hitting road impacts, it's going to give you a mixed signal. You're going to be like, oh my God, did my RPMs jump up because I hit a bump, or did it jump up because I don't have it tuned correctly, right? So you want to do one at a time, okay? And so like I said, dirt side, it's pretty limited. I intend to fix that. I really do. Like I said, I am bound and determined to create some effects for the dirt side, because I just think we need them. I think it would be awesome to have them. And like I said, I do think that if you could get multiple butt kickers, or even they've got the base shaker sets, it comes with like the 4 smaller ones that you can mount, something like that would be really cool. I do think something like that would be nice. So, am I going to do that? No, I'm not. I might get another butt kicker one day in the future when I get a better chassis or something like that. But right now I can't even get a better chassis because I have to have the ability to move this out of the way. This is not just my sim rig. This is also my office. I mean, I run my business on the same computer. So, I can't have a big, huge 80/20 rig here, trying to do office work out of it. It just won't work. So so it'll come in the future, but like I said, the most pressing thing for me is the effects, and I will get to work on that. Like I said, I am committed to creating some. I tried to create my own, but I just couldn't quite get it. So I'm gonna find someone to do it. And when I do, I will let you know about that. But anyway, so you guys, that's it. I told you I was gonna just kind of do a cover and review on it, and like I said, it's awesome. It really is. It does all the stuff that you think it would in terms of just adding the immersion. Like I said, even if all you do is add the RPMs, right, just so you can feel the motor as you're on and off the throttle, it's amazing. It really is. It's super cool, and you can do different frequencies for different cars, and you can save the profiles. Like I said, I've got different ones for the midgets and the mods and stuff like that because they're different motors, and so it gives you a different feel. And so it's unique and it's cool. And for $150 or whatever it is, you get everything that you need. It's super simple to set up. And it's just a really cool way to add another level to your sim racing, experience, to the immersion of it. It really is. If you are wearing VR, right, and you got a good headset and you got a butt kicker, I'm telling you, it's pretty damn cool. It really is. So, even if you're just on the triples, it's cool, or a single monitor, it's cool. I mean, so I highly recommend it. Like I said, I bought this myself. This is not a sponsored video or anything like that. I bought it myself, and I highly recommend it. I would recommend it to anybody. So really cool. I really like it. And so, I hope this, kind of helps you guys. Like I said, in terms of settings and stuff, it's really, these are the 2 that I would recommend for dirt. Kind of play around with them, see if you like them. And then, the asphalt side, just go bananas. I mean, there's a bunch of them that you can do. I would add the gear shifting and the gear grinding on the asphalt side. It makes it really, really cool. But that, you guys, that's going to do it all for this video. And really quick before I go, do me a favor, if you like it, please hit the like button as always. Also, if you've got a butt kicker game or two and of effects that would work, or ways to, different ways of tuning it, whether it's for dirt or asphalt or whatever, leave a comment down below. I would love to try it out and see, see if there's better ways of doing it. I just started messing with this stuff. I am the first to admit, I do not know a ton about, this. So I will gladly take advice. So if you've got stuff that you would want me to try, dude, put it down in the comments below. I will gladly check it out. Okay. Also, this week is my last week on Twitch. I've been talking about, moving my live stream from Twitch to YouTube, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to be doing it. This is the last week. This will be the last week that I live stream on Twitch. So if you want to join me on my live stream on Twitch, link down in the description below. Next week, a week from today, will be my first live stream in terms of the league racing stuff here on YouTube. I'm moving the live stream over to YouTube. So if you want to check that out, like I said, links down in the description below. And then finally, if you want to get free setups or join our SSR community, any of that stuff, head over to schoolofsimracing.net, link down in the description below like everything else. And when you go to the homepage, just click on the join the community button and you'll fill out the little form. It's just your name and your email, and then you get the link for the Discord and you get put on the mailing list so you don't miss anything, because trust me, you don't want to miss anything. I got a couple of really big things coming up. One of them is a dirt late model training. It's going to be a few weeks long. It's going to be like the Road to Pro that I did for the sprint cars. And I'm also going to be doing a Motec masterclass. I've had a lot of people ask me about Motec because of all the stuff that I've been doing with it. I am going to be doing a masterclass. It is going to be extremely limited. This is not something I'm going to be doing for hundreds of people. It is going to be a very small exclusive group of people. And so if you are interested in that at all, make sure that you are on the email list, because those are going to be the first people to know about it and the first people who have the opportunity to sign up for it. So if any of that sounds like something you might be interested in, links for all of it in the description below. But that'll do it. As always, thank you very much for joining me. Until next time, I want to wish you good luck, good racing, take care.